with Nute.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, for allowing me to speak. A lot of what I was going to say has already been said. I will make a strong statement right out front, though. I'll say, do not let this Trojan horse in our city. The sustainable growth is an idea that's pushed along with new urbanism. Last year, the City Council tried to speed through a comprehensive rezoning ordinance, which would give the planning department the tools necessary to implement Agenda 21. Agenda 21 is just a bunch of ideas. It's not really the danger. The danger is in programs like sustainable growth, which are the tools to implement the ideas of Agenda 21, and that's where the danger lies. You know, the City Council tried to pass this comprehensive rezoning, which would give the planning department the tools. And we all know what happened there. You kind of washed your hands from it because it wasn't done properly. Well, now it's back in the planning board. And this is planning board is the board that gave it its seal of approval a year ago. This is a wonderful plan. This is great. Well, they spent the last 6 or 7 months rehashing it. You know, they found out some things in there that weren't so great. The biggest thing with sustainable growth you need to figure out, is this Rochester? Is this the direction for Rochester? And as they go looking at new urbanism and the comprehensive rezoning, they found that there were things in there that were not Rochester. And one little thing that comes to my mind is there was an idea in there to allow no automobile-oriented businesses within the city, within the center of the city, the core of the city. And some planning board members, to their credit, said, wait a minute, this isn't right. We've got that now. And I think I just read in the paper where one business was celebrating more than 100 years in business. That's an automobile-oriented business that would have been within the area that this new comprehensive rezoning would have got rid of. So you really need to think of that. Is this where you want to go when you follow people, and I don't think there's too many left upstairs, who are practicing the religion of new urbanism? That's really what you ought to think about. Where is Rochester going for this? The other thing I want to talk about is, briefly, I don't understand how a decision was made to spend money without a formal vote. I don't even understand how that can be done. Is there a pot of cash somewhere where a phone call can be made and the money just gets divvied up and you vote on it later as a matter of having to make it official? I don't know how you do that. How can you do a consensus and say, yeah, we're going to spend the money? This body can't do anything without taking an official vote. So I don't understand. Maybe the city manager's got plenty of money kicking around and says, well, we'll just spend it and worry about formalities later. I think people are right to have a concern about this. The other thing I want to bring up, you know, this city, you're listening to a couple of people on this council and you're getting your butts handed to you on a lot of things, and at some point you're getting sick of it. I don't know, I suppose you guys have got the letter from the Attorney General dated August 16th to Mr. Gardner after reviewing this proposed sign ordinance that you guys are putting forward. And you know, there's some pretty nasty stuff in there about the city and the crap that this city is trying to pull. And admittedly, it's the discrimination of one person in the signs that one person puts out. And I hope the paper does something with this article, because it says, because municipalities do not otherwise have the express power to regulate political advertising, Rochester proposed ordinance must be analyzed to ensure no part of it is inconsistent with Chapter RSA 664. A city ordinance is invalid if it expressly contradicts state law, if it runs counter to the legislative intent underlying a statutory scheme. You can't do whatever you want here, ladies and gentlemen. We're not a home rule state. Additionally, the proposed ordinance must not violate the U.S. Constitution, as the United States Supreme Court has repeatedly recognized the importance of political speech under the First Amendment. So there's some of you that have been here a while, and when this code's an ordinance, man, you discussed this, you should have spoke up and said, this is wrong. We got no business doing this. And it goes on to say that you can't even say at certain times political signs can be on right-of-ways if the law says they can. You can't do what you want to do. But you can in the case of sustainable growth. You can say, you know what, there's not too many people left upstairs that are going forward with something Rochester, quite frankly, doesn't want or need. And you can send a strong message and say, we got enough problems with the EPA, with the Great Bay Estuary. We've got a good taste of what they're like. We don't need to sign into a contract with them and get their tentacles further in the freedoms of the citizens of Rochester. I want to thank Tom Kaczynski personally for going forward and stopping this comprehensive rezoning, which has stopped the tool for sustainable growth. And I ask that you guys give it the final death knell by voting down getting into Granite State Future. Thank you.
GrokTV.